We're such complex human beings and we have so many emotions as well. So I think sometimes it's difficult to really form a solid friendship with a girl.
All relationship is a journey, up and down.
In fact, we are sold this idea of female friendship through films mostly, you know, like I can quote Sex and the City.
I think in a true friendship you accept positive sides and kind of dark sides of a person as well.
Your life is more fulfilled if you have even just one or two friends that you can feel that you can call up, meet, do some activities together. But like we were saying, that you have to make the effort. Not everyone can be your best friend.
And not everyone deserves to be your best friend.
Hi, and welcome to Empower Beauty. My name is Nicola.
And my name is Daria.
And today we're going to be talking about female friendship and the misconception of female partnerships, friendships, sisterhood.
Yeah, I believe it's a very important topic.
I think
it's our environment.
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic, and we've delved quite deep into this subject, and it's quite a complicated situation, female friendship.
I also involved our audience, my subscribers, and I asked what they think about female friendship.
I'd be interested to get the feedback. So let me just get this out of the way, because I always find it stressful. So if you like this kind of topic or this kind of content, please hit the thumbs up. Helps us get noticed in the algorithm. And like and subscribe if you're not already following us. So should we just dive in?
Let's do it.
Okay. So do you want to start or shall I start? How should we do it today?
Let me start with a question first of all. What female friendship and friendship in general means for you? What is the definition?
So I have a bit of a diverse feeling towards that. Growing up, I didn't have that many female friends. I moved countries a lot, so I was living between Malta and England. So I found it very difficult to form long-lasting friendships. But when I went to senior school, I kind of start to develop, and I sort of started to bond more and make more solid female friends. But saying that, I have a brother. I was always very close to him. He's 3 years older than me. And I got on very well with him. You know, we used to fight like cat and dog, but I would say that he was one of my close friends as well. And then leading on to that, my best friend when I was like 12, 13 was a boy. And it's not, you know, it's quite unusual, I'd say, but he was my bestest friend.
Especially when we're talking about female friendship.
Yeah. It's because I found like girls could be, sometimes you don't know where you stand with them. You know, today they're your friend and they're talking behind your back the next day. Boys are not like that. They're kind of say it how it is and you know where you stand, you know. So I realized from a younger age, funny enough, these kind of dynamics. So we're still friends today, you know, from 12, 13-year-old Nicola to 47-year-old Nicola, and we're still in each other's lives. We live in two different countries, but we still connect. And I think female friendship, any relationship is difficult. But I think we're such complex human beings, and we have so many emotions as well. So I think sometimes it's difficult to really form a solid friendship with a girl. But then when it works, there's nothing better. I think that sisterhood feeling, that you have that kindred spirit, that is, you know, kind of your ride or die kind of person, is amazing. But it's very hard. I don't think most people can say they have that person in their life.
But saying this, for you, friendship, it's more about quantity of years, like duration of relationship, or what is the meaning for you?
I think
whom you would call friend, or why you've chosen those two men, your brother and your friend from childhood? Why you consider them as being your true friends?
Because whatever I went through, they were always there. Whatever changes, whatever dynamics, we always found some kind of link to stay in each other's lives. You know, my brother, obviously it's obvious, he's my brother, but you know, I have lots of friends. I can't say I have lots of different type of friends as well, and my job is a very social job, so I meet a lot of women and I get on very well with women. But I think sometimes I know how complex women can be, so I'm always a little bit cautious not to let my guard down 100%, because I have been hurt as well in the past. My kind of dynamic was I was never a big group kind of person growing up. I always liked that one best. I'd rather have one best friend than 10 sort of friends, but they're not really close. And
so basically they're giving you that feeling of security that you can share with them, and knowing that it's not going to be used against you, and you've passed through difficult life periods.
You know, you have that person that you can confide in and know that whatever you tell them is going to just stay between you, and there's that trust. I think trust. I think friendship, for me, true friendship is about trust. If you have that trust and respect, because they go hand in hand, I think that's what forms a true friendship, which I think there's certain morals that you hold for yourself that you would expect from someone else that you have close to you.
Definitely, yes.
So that's my kind of...
But you want to say that you don't have even one girl?
No, I have, of course. No, I have. I'm talking about in my earlier years.
Okay.
I've learned along the way kind of to see certain characteristics that I say, okay, I know this is coming, or you know, like I kind of can judge that kind of person. And I'm lucky to say that I have a good handful of girls that I have been friends with for years. We don't need to speak every day, but whenever we speak, we pick up from where we left off. I can share my feelings, they can share their feelings, and we've got each other's back. They're encouraging, you know, they're motivating, and that's the kind of good female friends I think that everyone aspires to have.
Yes,
but it was a journey.
Of course.
You know?
Like all relationship is a journey, up and down. And that's how you determine who your real friend is.
Exactly. And I think people don't realize that friendship is a relationship. It's not obviously you think, oh, I'm going to invest in my boyfriend or my girlfriend. But having a friendship can sometimes take as much time and energy,
yes, of course,
to keep that relationship going. And we don't realize that, which sometimes in the past I used to think, God, this relationship's so draining. It's like having another boyfriend or another girl, you know. But it is if you want to keep that kind of level of comfort between you, you do have to put your effort in.
But you mentioned interesting thing. If you know that this kind of relationship, this friendship is draining for you, why would you carry on with it?
No, that's why sometimes, well, thing is, because life is not perfect. Sometimes you get to a point and you say, you know what, this is not for me. It doesn't serve me anymore. You know, as in like, it's not making my life happier. It's, you know, which I think having friends are to share mostly good times. I mean, life is not perfect, and you need a friend when bad things are happening, you know, to be that shoulder to share with. But sometimes life is not easy, and you can't give up the minute, oh no, I don't like this, or that person annoyed me, and you're out of the door, because that's not reality. Not everyone's going to make you feel good all the time. And you might not make them feel good all the time. It's a two-way scenario. So you can't, it's whether you value that person enough to say, I'm going to take the rough patches with the good patches.
Valuing that person, and for me as well, appreciating the journey you've been together. Again, difficult moments and happy, successful moments. Because recently I heard that you challenge your friends, and you understand who your real friends are, not in the moments when you are at your low, but when you're at your highest. Kind of even going through success, that's not everyone can stand it, unfortunately. And I think, and I heard the stories from even my clients, when they kind of reached that peak, unfortunately they noticed that some people turned their back. So
it's funny, because it's a bit of a double two-edged sword, because you have people, when you're successful, everybody wants to be your friend because they want to be in that limelight that you're in. Or like maybe you said, you realize who your true friends are because they are not happy for your success.
Exactly.
And I think that's when that's really hard to understand, because you want your friends to be happy when you're doing well.
Yes, definitely.
So can I change the question on to you? How
Yes.
would you value friendship?
So for me, friendship is again not about how much time I spent with a person or how long we've been together, but it's more about how deep is our connection. Again, about feelings, how I feel when I am with that person, with friends. It's about desire to share what I'm passing through, all my thoughts, without thinking that this might be used against me, because obviously when you have weaknesses or you are struggling in life, you are showing your vulnerability. And thanks God, I've been lucky enough that people never took advantage of it. So I think I was lucky that I didn't have negative aspect of relationship. I didn't face it. Yes, I had challenges in relationship with some women. It's cool at workplace, like literally seeing jealousy, envy, and all this mix of negative emotions. But I just realized that we are not meant to be together, so it's better to keep distance, and it's better to avoid any kind of communications. And but I'm proud and I'm grateful and happy to say that I do have very good friends, and most of them are coming from my childhood, my 20s, even from rhythmic gymnastics when I was 10, 11 years old. So now I'm 32, it's like more than 20 years we have friendship with some of the girls, even though we are living in different countries, even though we have completely different lifestyles. Most of them are happy married, they are moms with kids, and they're in Russia, in my home country. But still, as you said, and I really like it, when we meet each other or we have a call, we start from the point where we left. Even though it was a year ago, a few months ago, a few weeks ago, still the same level of connection, understanding, empathy, desire to support each other, even desire to listen to you. So it's still there, and
I think that's true friendship. You know, as you get, it's not like when you're children. You know, when you're younger, I remember my teenage years. We used to be at school together, go home and call each other. You know, it was ridiculous. You can't do these things when you're an adult. You know, you can't even meet your friends sometimes every week for a coffee, you know, because life is busy. Maybe you have a family, you're married, you have work commitments. But if you're true friends, you understand that life gets in the way, but you should be able to pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's a year later, if you really have that connection, then that's what I think when someone is valued in your life.
Yeah.
And then you can say that's a good friend.
Mentioning coffee, let me take my notes, because I want to share with you kind of discovery related to friendship. Because obviously when we have people in our life, whether it's friends or partners or colleagues or whoever it is, we are satisfying our needs at a deep subconscious level without even realizing. So today I want to share it with our audience and with you, and you will kind of understand better what kind of friends you have and what kind of needs you are satisfying. And keep in mind that not every person, a person don't have to satisfy all your needs, even your partner or husband. Sometimes we expect so much and we think that this person would fit perfectly to each and every aspect and will be with us on the same level of understanding, and
it's unrealistic.
It's unrealistic, yes.
But so, I think also we're led to believe that as well. I think from fairy tale, like Disney sold us especially for women, they sold us this fairy tale that, you know, there's always going to be this knight in shining armor. And it can be even with that mindset for friendship as well. Sometimes you put so much pressure on your friends to fulfill, you know, like every aspect of your needs, where it's
You have
unrealistic.
expectations, and then when people don't follow your expectation, you're like, oh,
Disappointed.
It's not a friend anymore.
Yeah,
Actually, it's not the case.
exactly. So it's good to understand that, because you will probably value your friendships more when you take that pressure away from the friendship.
Of course, yes, definitely. So let's have a look at needs.
Okay.
We have pyramid of Maslow with his basic needs. So first we have physical needs. It's, I would say, we have people, we have friends who go with us for shopping or having coffee, just, to have that presence of someone else in your life, not to feel alone, feel that even safety. Because when you go to a place where you don't feel like it's not your comfort zone, you want to take someone with you. Like, can you go with me to a cinema or theater or even have dinner together? I don't feel comfortable like being my own. So that would be kind of friends.
But even it's nice to share the experience
Yes,
with
of
someone.
course.
I think you get more out of the experience when you're sharing it with someone else, because they bring their input into the situation.
But that's next level. It's emotional level. So here we have friends with whom we would go for wine or for a glass of prosecco, let's say. Or sometimes we need just a person who would listen to our stories. Like, you are calling, have you got a minute? I have something to share with you. Or please just listen to me, because I really need to express my feelings and emotions. And those kind of needs, they're reflecting in empathy and in understanding what's happening with you. All of us, we need to be understood. We need to have that feeling that someone really relates to you, what you're passing through. And then we have intellectual level of friendship. Let's say those are people with whom we are discussing books. We are traveling together, or we are doing business together. We start our ventures. We want to grow and progress again together. We want to develop. We want to explore, express ourselves, go through that process of self-discovery and just being honest. I think intellectual level, it's when you are real you and you're not afraid again to show your vulnerability, to share your ideas. It's again intellectual connection. I can say that kind of our friendship might fall into this category when we're having projects together and we're all the time sharing our ideas, inspirations.
Yes, on that we kind of bounce off each other very easily.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that we don't go for a glass of prosecco.
Luckily, I would say from everything you've mentioned, we kind of fit under every umbrella, which is it's great when you finally meet someone that you can share all of these aspects. But sometimes it's difficult. Like you said, sometimes you have a certain friend that you say, I need a good night out. And she's the one, that I know. She'll kind of say, oh, I know where the hip places are, and I'll book everything, and I'll collect a group of girls, and let's just go out and have fun, That's amazing to have that kind of friend. And then, sometimes you have certain friends that they're nice to meet for coffee or just to be more mellow. And
when you need to make a life decision, like asking for an opinion or for background experience, just to consider it as well. Yeah. And then we have social friends, social level of friendship, which gives us that feeling of status, reputation, or social norms. Sometimes maybe you have dogs and you go out and you make friends, or you have children who go to the same school and you need to make that connection. You need to be friends. Again, your neighbors or your social media friends, those kind of people would fall into social friendship, let's say. And it's still okay. It doesn't mean that you're going to do business with them. It doesn't
or have
mean
more of a person. I have neighbors that I say good morning to every day, but it's not going to go further than that. We might speak for 5 minutes, complain about what might be happening in our area, but that's it. Everyone carries on with their day. But technically, they are social acquaintances. We call them more acquaintances.
Yes, but sometimes they might be good friends or close people as well, because if you're meeting them every day and randomly you're having a chat, they would know what's going on in your life. And then we have spiritual level of friendship when we go to church or we practice any spiritual type of activities like yoga, meditation, pilgrimage, or we go for retreats, or even that process of self-reflection. So that would go into spiritual friendship as well. I don't know whether you have this type of friends, whether you can relate to you.
I have a group of friends who love to do these things, and I sometimes go in and go out, but it's not something, unfortunately, I think I've mentioned it before. I like yoga, that much percentage, and I really wish I would love it more, but I don't. I think my mind is too active. I prefer to go and do a good workout PT session. And I feel that I'm being more productive that way. But I like from time to time, if I'm invited, which I have a group of friends who like to do these things, and sound therapy, and when sort of they do a group event or a birthday party, I'm like, okay. But it's not something I'm really looking forward to.
But it's still nice because you're discovering that type of that side of your personality as well, like whether you can relate to it or that's not something which you would like to practice.
I mean, I'm open. I think when you have I have lots of different groups of friends, and I've always been like that from a teenager, because I think I have, like you were mentioning, different aspects of my personality, and one person cannot fulfill all of that. So I have one group of friends who, they've taken me rock climbing, we've gone on certain retreats and yoga. It's not my forte, but I did it and it was an experience, and I knew, that it was more their thing, but I still was able to participate,
And I think it also depends on the life period which you're passing through. Sometimes I experienced it as well. Sometimes I wanted to be more kind of spiritual, and I had this period of life when I was meeting people like this with whom I used to discuss books. We used to give recommendations each other, what kind of training we should undertake, or having these insights or different kind of messages, because I believe in all this stuff, messages and science from the universe.
Yes.
Exactly, yes.
I must admit, in that sense, we're very spiritual, both of us. I'm not, I've got more spiritual as I got older, but once you start listening to the little signs that are in your life every day, you start to become more and more spiritual. I feel I'm learning that we grow and are much happier if we slow down the pace sometimes and see what the world is offering us.
Yeah, the key word is slow down.
Yeah, little signs here and there, however little they are. And I think it kind of then guides you, and you always feel that you're going on the right path, even if you can't understand the path at the time. So I think it's one thing that me and you really resonate the same, and we're very into star signs as well. So.
Yes, but again, it doesn't mean that it should be one should exclude another. If you are having, I don't know, a coffee friend, it doesn't mean that you can't talk about something spiritual or religious or whatever. Of course, one person can combine all of these aspects, but I was mentioning it because you shouldn't be disappointed if you think that, this person, I don't know, I'm not growing or I'm not progressing with this person. Maybe if your friend gives that feeling of safety, understanding, again, empathizing with you, why not? So maybe you need this quiet space and comfort zone, and then go out and do business with someone else, or I don't know, grow, progress, develop, chase your dreams. So it doesn't mean that your friendship doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you had pinpointed something at the very beginning when we first started talking, how that person makes you feel. Because I've cut certain friends through the years where I've realized if I don't feel good around you, or if I walk away feeling a little bit, something's not right, that's your signal, your sixth sense telling you that you and this person's energy are not vibing.
Yes.
As much as maybe you get on so many levels, sometimes you can tick all 10 boxes, but that feeling is not resonating with you.
Yes,
so
definitely.
That's another aspect I think is very important when you have friends in your life, that go by your inner feeling, your gut feeling. I mean, we can send all this, quotes and statistics, but I think we sometimes fundamentally know deep down in our sixth sense that this person feels good to be around. I feel happy. When I leave them, I feel energized, or that feel good, warm feeling, and think, oh, I love that person. But if you don't, and you feel, like, okay, intellectually we get each other, they're fun, but then when you actually leave them, you just think, I feel something's not right. I think
actually that's a very, very good point, because there is a difference between supportive environment and destructive. Destructive destructive environment, and that's how you distinguish between it. Your feelings, your gut feelings, you pointed very, very well. When you feel that you are yourself, you don't need to pretend to wear a mask, you don't need to play anything, you are safe with expressing your emotions, thoughts, ideas. You know that your friends are very supportive. Again, it doesn't mean that they have to blindly support all your ideas.
Or understand all your ideas.
Yes.
You are an individual, they are their own individual,
Yes.
different backgrounds, different mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to connect on a certain level.
But if they are doing it on a regular basis, like, oh, you will not manage, it's not your, business, it's not your level, it's not your style. Okay, in this case, ask yourself, is it a true friend? Does this person want you to progress and have success in life or not?
Yeah, if they're constantly being negative to everything that you're doing. That's why I think you kind of have to level your friendships, and you say, am I getting that feel good, positive energy from them, or I'm feeling more negative? And then you kind of say, do I really want this person in my life? Do I need this person in my life? I always had this mindset, it's better to have maybe a small handful of friends, and they really vibe with you and they're true friends, than to have 20 and you have no real connection with any of them.
Yes.
I think it's pity. I think
do you want to go in numbers? Because there is a kind of statistics that average person has around 150 friends.
Oh, wow.
We are not considering social media friends or followers, just literally.
I don't know if I have 150 friends.
Yes, but again, let's say 5 of them would be making first circle, your close circle of friends with whom you're communicating on a regular basis, maybe not on a daily, but at least weekly, let's say. They know everything, and you know what's happening in lives of each other. Then we have kind of circle level, second level, where we have 15 people, again, whom we meet sometimes, maybe not on a regular basis, and maybe not sharing everything, just some main basic ideas. And then we have 50. Again, we have less communication with them, but you still consider them as being friends, and then the rest. And the most interesting thing that there was a research, and I suggest you to do it as well, although it's a little bit tricky exercise, but still try it, maybe you will manage to confirm it. So if you write down average salary of each person who is in your environment, let's say we take 10 people, and then you calculate their salaries together, and then you divide it by 10, and you will see your kind of income or your salary.
Does it work?
I tried it, and it came like literally the same number.
That's your business background. Trust you to kind of make it into that.
Yes, but they say we are average of our environment.
Okay.
If you are surrounded by negative people,
who are going nowhere with their life,
you can't be
kind
positive. Yes.
Or be following your dream.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. It's really funny. I never thought.
Check it. I'm curious whether it's going to work for you or not, or what kind of results. Of course, you can't know how much person is earning, but at least you have general idea. Let's say from, I don't know, this number till this number.
Well, I must say, the close friends in my life, female friends, they're all very successful in their own business, mostly their own business, which I find very motivating. I always found it motivating. And they've always been super motivating and encouraging for me to follow my ambitions and carry on being creative. So I do believe it's important to surround yourself on people that you aspire to be as well.
Yes, yes.
Because it does help you keep yourself motivating and following your dreams. And you say, wow, if they're doing it, I should, try to do it myself or be motivated to do it myself.
I think it's good when you see that you're surrounded by successful people, friends in your case, and they are owners of their business. It's good that you are looking at it as a desire to progress, to be a little bit, let's say, better than you used to be, to be closer to their level, and not comparing yourself and then thinking, oh, there is something wrong with me, or some people even jealous of success of other people.
I think it's the mindset, because the girls I'm mentioning, I've known them for maybe 20 years, as long as I've been living in Malta. And I've seen them progress, and I'm proud of them. And they've been proud of me with my successes as well. And I think that's what true sisterhood friendship should be about, that you go through your ups and downs, and we're honest to each other when we've had our downs. And being successful doesn't mean it's always great. You have a lot of challenges with daily business problems, family problems, lifestyle problems, Life is not perfect. And you realize that it's a journey, and the achievements that they've achieved or you've achieved has come with hard work. I think people sometimes look at social media and they think, oh, life is just so perfect and no one's had to struggle or had sleepless nights or tearful nights. No, that's not reality.
Just falling from the heaven.
Yeah, that's just the picture you would see for 2 seconds. It's not a reality.
Yes, yes.
In fact, we are sold this idea of female friendship through films mostly. I can quote Sex and the City.
Oh, my favorite.
That was, always my idea of, how I would love to aspire to have a group of friends.
Yes,
I was lucky actually that I do have a group of friends like that. I mean, we used to do more things before the pandemic, and in fact we're called the Sexy Mamas. We're a group of around 8 girls, and similar ages, on and off a few years here and there, but we kind of all formed this, they were friends from when they were much, much younger, but we formed this group, and we used to do girls' holidays together and girls' nights, and we had our little Sex and the City moment. But I hadn't had that for many, I was lucky that I actually found these, group of girls, but we kind of aspire to have that kind of friendship where you can call each other 24 hours a day, but it's unrealistic. If someone called me up, they say you should have your ride or die friend that you can call at 4 a.m. Unless she's dying, don't call me at 4 a.m, because you're not going to get a happy response from me. It's got to be something major. Your house is on fire, or I don't know, something really bad's happened. Otherwise, I'm just going to say, go off and call me at a decent hour, So I think, the social media and the film industry and episodes and sitcoms, and we're sold this false identity of female friendship, which it's very hard to aspire to. And if you've never been, maybe you're introverted and you find it hard to go in social situations and make new friends, it can make you feel worse. You feel more lonely instead of more inspired to have that kind of friendship. So I think, we have to realize that we are sold an idea and it's not a reality sometimes.
Yes. Actually, it's interesting you mentioned that it's difficult to make friends, because I can relate to it. It's not an easy to make first step, especially when you are, I don't know, surrounded by people and you see, for example, you're having a networking event and you see people, they're forming a group, they start the communication, they're enjoying each other, and you are kind of separated and you don't know how to overcome these fears of being rejected, making this first step. In fact, when I was in London, I literally booked 5 networking events, And that was my objective, to overcome my introversion. And that's where I was practicing to do this first step again and again, just approaching people. Hi, my name is Daria, how are you doing, etc., etc. Because the most challenging part is just
that first step.
Say hi.
Yeah.
Yes, and then when I returned to Malta and we had a networking event and I was with my friend, so I took a glass of champagne and I told her, okay, I'm going to make friends. She was like, how are you going to do it? Do you know one of them? I told, no, but I'm going to make friends. It's an effort to make a friend. Because friends is not coming from heaven.
If you're going to stand there and expect people to come towards you, you're going to be waiting probably for quite a while.
And if you're struggling, just go for a networking event, make this first step.
Join a club or a group or an interest.
Yeah, find hobbies. I found a lot of girls in yoga classes, in stretching, in dancing, even through photography. I booked 2 photo shoots and now they are my best friends here in Malta. That's how I met them. They were my photographers. But then we discovered that we are so like-minded people and we have kind of that deep connection, that we became friends. So don't stay at home in your bubble and thinking, oh, I don't have that Sex and the City idea of girls' friends. Make the step, approach people.
That's the first step, is don't expect people are going to make the effort with you first. You have to take yourself out of your comfort zone and actually put yourself out there, because I think that is the hardest part, is realizing that you have to make that effort, and be more approachable, be more open, join a club or a group or a hobby where you're in a situation that you don't have to put yourself straight away, hi, my name is, but you kind of will see each other on a weekly basis, and then it's more natural. Hi, how are you today? And it's a slower pace if you're more comfortable with that. Yeah. But you have to make that effort.
And then maintain this friendship. Because again, if you're not contributing your time, your efforts, your energy, even your money, like making small gifts or, I don't know, sending flowers, sometimes it's so nice to do it, yes. If you don't don't sustain this friendship, it's not going to work if you're not contributing.
It's like a relationship, like I said. You have to make that phone call when when I don't know, maybe they went for an interview. Make that phone call afterwards and say, how did it go? And be that support, whether it's went well or it didn't go well. It's a kind of, people appreciate that, and you secure the relationship more when you invest emotionally as well. But I think, friendships, a lot of scenarios go into it. Lifestyle changes, whether you're single or in a relationship, whether you're married, whether you have children, your hobbies, whether you have the same interests. There's so many diversity.
Your life priorities as well. Sometimes you want to focus on work, on study, on traveling, and you don't have time for friends. But it's okay. If I see that one of my friends took a step back, from friendship, I can make a call and ask, are you okay? Is everything fine with you? And she will tell me, yes, I just been doing this and this and this. Okay, if you need any help from my side, if you want me to share success moments or happy moments with you, I'm here, just let me know. And I think being open and having this communication and conversation as well, if something goes wrong and you have that gut feeling that it does not work, again, making that effort to fix the things sometimes.
Yeah, not presuming, I don't know what their problem is or why they not calling me.
Yes, yeah.
Make the effort, call and say, is everything okay? Yes. Try to make that relationship better if you're feeling that it's not.
Yes. I think even in our communication as well, sometimes we have moments like you got stuck with your commitments, I'm with my life, etc. And we feel that there is not that spark maybe anymore. Yeah. And every time we are doing step forward and asking, look, I feel in this way. Do you feel the same? Do you think it doesn't work? How can we...
I'm very honest in that. As I've got older, I realize it's very important. I think you get much further with a person if you just put all your cards down on the table and say, are you okay? Or if I'm not okay, this is what I'm feeling. What are you feeling? You know, and that's where you both know where you stand, and you can just move forward. You know, and it is difficult. Like when you live two separate lives, obviously you're not living together. Sometimes problems arise, you know, hormones with women that can clash as well, you know. So it's good to kind of be honest and check in with each other and see what's happening at that moment.
Don't take it personally, like don't assume, oh, I did something wrong, or I don't know.
You know, that's a very good point, because sometimes us women are so emotional that someone could be going through something and our ego kind of says, it's something I did, you know, where necessarily has nothing to do with you. It's just what they're going through, and they just don't have time or space to deal with anyone at that moment.
Lately, I have a rule for myself: don't assume, but ask. Because I have a tendency, I have creative imagination, and I build a whole picture around something.
I'm the same.
When something happened, but then I told to myself, no, that's your thoughts, your ideas, and you are seeing this situation just from your perspective, from one side. Ask another person what he or she is going through or passing through, what kind of situation from another side, and find this common ground, discuss it, have a conversation, honest conversation. Like as you said, put everything on the table, be yourself.
I think it's true. When you start to see things, friendships or any relationships or any situations really, in that mindset, it helps because you detach yourself from your negative thoughts, because our first thoughts will be negative. It's like, oh, what happened? They don't like me anymore. This happened. And it's not necessarily the case at all, you know. And then you end up bringing all your insecurity of God knows how many years of insecurity.
All your past
all
traumas.
for one, maybe one action. There was a fleeting moment in time that has nothing to do with anything.
But actually mentioning this as well, past traumas and all these insecurities, friends, as all people around, they're coming with life lesson.
Yes.
So maybe we should look at this kind of negative situations and negative aspects again as something which we can grow together.
It's funny you said that, because doing my research about this topic, it's so interesting, and you've just touched on one of the things that I hear sort of through the research time and time again. Friendships don't have to last forever. Sometimes people will come into your life for a reason, maybe to help you evolve to the next level of your life, to maybe teach you a lesson so you can learn not to repeat it again, teach you a lesson about yourself, how you act in certain situations.
Or to check whether you learned the lesson.
Exactly.
Have you noticed that sometimes different people are coming with the same?
Yes, and that's a big sign saying you're repeating. You didn't learn from the first time.
You haven't done your
homework. Exactly. And when you start to see friendships as well, sort of when maybe someone lets you down, it will be easier to let go.
I think we came to a point when we should mention that no one is perfect. Even me and you. We are not perfect, and we shouldn't expect people to be always positive, always supporting, always in a good mood, always encouraging. I think in a true friendship you accept positive sides and kind of dark sides of a person as well. And maybe that's the true friendship. When you see a person, as if you're scanning a person, and you can see 100% what's happening with this, with your friend, and you just accept the way it is, and you're not being offended, you're not behaving like a child, you know, this person didn't give me enough attention, enough love, I didn't feel recognized or whatever.
There's a fine line with that, though.
It is, yes.
There is a fine line, because you know, if that person's doing that to you constantly,
yes,
then that's not
different.
acceptable.
Yes.
I find in my friendship
of course,
idea.
Yes.
But if it's a one-off and there's a reason why, and you're like, that's not really them, and that situation made them act like that, and you can understand it, then yes, because it could be you doing that.
Yeah, but again, here we should ask kind of what's behind this behavior, and then whether you accept it or not, whether it's according to your standards of friendship or not. because of course you need to protect your personal boundaries. Otherwise, you will lose yourself in this friendship, and you don't want to do it.
Or you could be taken for granted, or in a way even abused. Sometimes friendship, you could have someone who sort of tries to always suck your energy.
Or can you make a favor for me, do something, and wasting
and
your
constantly.
time. Yes,
you end up being the PA. Or like, even a friend that sometimes every time you meet, they're always negative, always complaining. That's, very draining. So I think, friendship is such a difficult, diverse relationship to have in your life. I mean, when it's good, it's amazing, and I think, like, I was looking, there was a statistic in the New York Post, pre-COVID, so we can't say it's because of COVID, because obviously that's made a big change in a lot of people's life. So this was done in 2019, and it was supported by the YouGov in New York, and they said millennials were the most, let me get this, state this clearly, the loneliest generation in America. Which was, when I read that, I was like, that is so sad.
Meaning that they don't have friends?
Yes, they are the generation, statistically, not to have as many friends in their life. And mostly it's due to social media. So really, if you're like in the age bracket, really try to stop and think about that. Because you think, okay, I might have thousands of followers, but how many of them are really your friends? These are just entities, acquaintances, someone that you might say hi and bye, but there's no real personal connection. And the survey went on to sort of say that most people don't have the big group of friends like you would see, like I was saying before, in films, or even before we used to have more club society, family, bigger families, bigger siblings, more cousins. So your network was always bigger. I remember when I was young, I was always around children, even though I hopped from different countries, because my mum would have lots of friends with children, my cousins and this and that. I think I can see from my children as well. It's not the same. So it made sense, even though it's very sad.
It's disappointing when I see a situation when I'm in a restaurant, for example, or in a coffee shop, a group of friends, a group of people, they're physically together, but emotionally, mentally, they're not there because they're in their phones. And I have a rule when I meet a person, doesn't matter, a friend or business partner or whoever it is, to show my respect, to show my presence and commitment and desire to listen to this person, I just remove my phone. I don't check it because I want to be here. I want to be 100% in that.
I used to tell my friends off if they're like on Instagram, or I'm like, am I that boring? And they laugh, It's like, put your phone away. It's so rude, And it's really funny because now it's socially acceptable. Around 10, 20 years ago, it was seen very rude and disrespectful.
No, I mean, for me, it's not socially acceptable. I don't accept
I'm the same.
it. If you want time, that's what I usually do. Like, if it's something urgent and you really need to check it, you really need to...
But you can explain that and excuse yourself.
It's fine. But if you're doing it constantly, if you are not with me, it's irritating. I'm wasting my time in this case, so I don't want to do it.
Exactly.
If you are not here for me, I'm not there for you.
It's all about being present in the moment.
Yes, of course,
like
definitely.
If you want that connection with someone, you have to be present in the moment. That is, I think, the fundamental quality of having
and
a true friendship.
And that's the beauty of friendship. You are making memories and you're experiencing something together. It doesn't matter whether it's small, just having a coffee or conversation, or you're traveling or you're growing together. It's about this precious moment which never happens again.
Yeah, a connection. I mean, we all need each other. We all need to vibe off each other's energies. And I think your life is more fulfilled if you have even just one or two friends that you can feel that you can call up, meet, do some activities together. But like we were saying, that you have to make the effort. It's not going to come to you if you sit at home watching Netflix on your social media all day, every day. You need to put yourself out there. You need to go out. You need to be open, get yourself a bit out of your comfort zone and say hi, smile, connect,
But on a positive note, I asked my social friends, my followers, what they think about females' friendship, and most of them replied that it does exist.
Yes.
They do believe in it, and it made me feel very, very warm and nice about it.
No, I definitely
Especially
think,
women.
yes, I definitely think it exists, for sure. I mean, sometimes I've been married for many years, and sometimes I tell my husband, thank God I have my friends. Because, like they sometimes he would not understand where I'm coming from at all. And the minute I tell them, they get you in that split of a second, and you think, oh, thank God I have you in my life. Like you so get me where I am in my emotional state of mind and my mental state of mind. So yes, I mean, female friendship, like I said at the very beginning, is so precious.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes it's a journey to find your one or two or group of friends that you feel that you have that sisterhood. And I actually view my female friends as sisters. I always had that sort of, if I'm going to call you a close friend, I love you, I grow to love you. I have, an emotional attachment. Otherwise, I keep myself as an acquaintance because I'm that kind of person. So you have to kind of know your emotional vulnerability and see how you're going to set your friends in different categories, because not everyone can be your best friend.
And not everyone deserves to be your best friend.
Very nicely put. I like that. I really like that, because that's very true.
It comes
Hold your
to a point
values.
when you need to appreciate yourself. And then if you love yourself, if you accept yourself, if you're in a good relationship with yourself, you can spread it around, and you can build that quality connection with other people. If you are okay with yourself.
Yes.
If you know your personal boundaries, if you know your values, what you want, your needs. And I think it starts with yourself.
Yes, I think, that is a very good way to end this whole conversation, because you're right. It comes with you. You have to nurture yourself before you're able to share yourself with the world. And that comes with any aspect of life, but especially friendship. You will attract what you give out. So if you are feeling positive, you have respect for yourself, you're only going to draw like-minded women, because they will see those qualities and they resonate with you and be more attracted to that. So I think that's great. And in fact, I'm going to leave everyone with two good podcasts and YouTubers that I got some that would be nice to watch as well, kind of leading on to our topic. There's Mel Robbins. She has one called Lies About Adult Friendship and the Truth You Need to Hear. Very interesting, very much your style of mentality, being a life coach. And then kind of my kind of style, there's another YouTuber called, and she's a content creator, The Myth of Female Friendship by the Feminine Fancy. So that kind of goes into the latter side of what I've mentioned into this episode. So check them out. I think it will complement as well our topic of today. If you like this, like and subscribe, and we hope to catch you next time.
Yes, and share with us your comments about female friendship, whether you've been lucky enough to have true friends, and maybe something which you took from our episode, what kind of advices you're going to implement. We would be very, very interested and curious to know about it.
Yes, definitely. Let us know your feedback. If you're the one best friend type of girl, or like the group socialite type of girl, because it's interesting.
And share this episode with your friends.
Yes, exactly. Or watch it together.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, guys, thanks so much. Sending you lots of love, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.